That's through. Nice. Good job, Act. Turn, nice.
Turn means that way, aren't they, sir?
There you go. Way to get that run in there. Good. Good.
RBI, Steve. Good job.
Good on, man.
That.
Brett.
Hey.
Strong!
All right, in the hole.
Go, Brett. Strong! Get off the line. All right, Brett.
Come on, Brett. That's it, leave it up.
That's it, Brett. Leave it up. Leave it up. Ready for attack. Attack.
Set a play, guys. Heads up, heads up, heads up. You guys are moving. Go. Shot!
Chris, move up like 3 steps. Really?
I don't want to bother you too much about that, but there's no reason to be that far back to Mike. See how far off the line he is? You're not going to get hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If he comes this way for a foul ball or a ball down the line, there's no way he's.
Can you write the mask thing down? He does it every time. He's going to get one right in the face.
I personally like it. Pretty good so we can count 2 4 hours. Mix it up, figure out what
they were both making, well, they were probably making 25,000.
Hey Dan, we're going to take a look at some of your plate work here. Your stance looks really solid, both from behind home plate and from the side. Heel instep or heel toe relationship looks really good from both sides. You're getting set on time. Head height looks good. One of the things that I think a lot of guys have trouble with is being a little bit too far from the catcher, and when we were over on the side before, it doesn't look like that's an issue for you. So keep monitoring that. It's good that you're, your head's in a good spot, so you're getting a good look over the catcher. So on that play, we started with a runner on second only. Looked like your initial instinct was good. Looked like you were going to stay home. There was no initial communication. In that situation, we don't want to cover third for our partner because of the potential for an overthrow at third and a play at the plate. That's the base umpire's call 100%. So, make sure that when you're giving your pre-pitch communication, make sure that you're thinking about, okay, what does this pre-pitch communication mean? What does this mean for me? If the ball's hit to the infield, what am I going to do? Okay, the instincts part of umpiring is really important.
Go. X.
So just going back to that last play, you started to come up to third late, and you communicated, "I've got third," and that's not the appropriate mechanic in that situation. So again, just make sure that before the play, you're telling yourself, "All right, if the ball's hit to the infield, what am I going to do?" Nice job taking the line on that. That's a pretty close fair foul down here down the left field line. Just remember that. Here we go, infield fly maybe. Nope. So on the last fair foul down the line, want to make sure that obviously the ball's your number one priority, and you did a nice job taking responsibility for that and communicating with your partner. Once the ball drops, remember you have a runner on third. So that's a ball where you have to return to the plate if you don't have responsibilities at third base, or go up to third base if it's a rotation. The play just before that, we had first and second. That's one again. Tell yourself beforehand, I'm rotating up to third on a fly ball to the outfield. So it was a fly ball to left field. There wasn't going to be able to play at third, but you still need to be moving up that way just in case the ball starts getting thrown around. We have you on video. I want to point out a really minor thing. There's not going to be a play at the plate on that specific situation, but it looks like you're moving around from the point of the plate, sort of just drifting around behind the plate. Move for a purpose. If there's no reason to move from the point of the plate, don't. So that was a ground ball that went through the third baseman's legs, and you moved, 2 or 3, maybe 4 steps to the left of the point of the plate toward third base. If there's going to be a play at the plate there, especially in amateur baseball when you can't run over the catcher and there's not a lot of collisions, you're going to be taking 95% of your plays third baseline extended. So I'm not sure what moving to the left accomplishes there. So again, move for a purpose. Tell yourself before the play happens, what is my next possible play? And when the ball gets hit, it should be instinct. Stay at the point of the plate there. If a play develops at the plate, move third baseline extended. Watch the touch from the point of the plate, the touch of third base, I mean. You should be all set. One of the other things that I talked with Chris about on the bases, and I've seen a couple times from you, is using your signals in a manner that makes sense and in a manner that helps project confidence and project game awareness. There's been a few times where there's been routine routine gappers and some routine fly balls where both of you have given catch, no catch signals. Save those signals for when they're necessary. Save them for diving catches, save them for converging fielders, save them for boundary decisions, balls that might leave the ballpark, catches below the waist. Think about, as a fan, if you were watching the game, what do I need a signal for? On a routine fly ball or a routine gapper, we don't need a no catch signal. Everybody knows. Save the signals for plays that you have to sell. Same thing I mentioned on some swinging strikes. You're saying strike. Why? Full swing, everybody knows he swung. You can see that from section 312 at Fenway. So save the verbal strike mechanic for called strikes. You don't give a punch out on a swinging strike 3. That's because everybody knows he swung. So just the signal suffices in that situation. Little thing on that last check swing that you had, you came up, I believe it was a left-handed batter, and you pointed across your body with your left hand. If you can get out of that habit, try to get in the habit of pointing with the hand that's closer to the batter, so your slot hand. What that will do is it allows you to point more right at the batter, and when you point with your left hand, sometimes it looks like you're checking for help. So we try not to point across our body for that reason. Again, same thing on the movement, ground balls to the infield with runners in scoring position. You're drifting toward the third base dugout. There's no reason to be there. Okay, you're not going to take a play at third. There's no fair foul responsibility anymore. Stay at the point of the plate. Be ready to go third base line extended if that develops into a play at the plate from an infielder. Same thing, if you're behind the plate there, make sure you're watching the runner touch the plate as well. You're moving away from the plate and not taking care of that responsibility. Good positioning for that play there. Depending on where that ball goes, first base line extended, third base line extended, you did a nice job getting out of the way of the throw. Good strong signal. Good judgment. Not sure what our pitcher friend was complaining about there. Again, that's a perfect example of what I was talking about before about saving signals for when you need them. That ball hit the dugout screen. Everybody knows that's foul. So give the ball to the catcher, move on to the next play. One of the other things that we talked about, another little thing, is how often you give the count. It's just a game management thing. It projects confidence. If you're giving the count every pitch, it just means less and less every time. So give the count, get into a routine. Every 2 pitches, every 3 pitches. Personally, I like giving it 2 and 1 and 1 and 2, and then waiting for the count to be full to give it again. Obviously, if you have a lot of foul balls in a row or something, then that's different. But try to get in a little bit of a routine with that. Good inning.
One of the things we can do is if you get enough video of both of them, we can do something where you focus on the plate guy and if the ball gets hit, you swing to the base guy.
He's not tracking.
No need for a catch signal there.
Go, Matt. Head in there. Let's wait on it. See it in. Head in, come on. Lean on it.
If we can on that play, let's try to get stopped for the catch. The worst thing that can happen there is that you're running through it, and for whatever reason he makes a diving attempt. We need to really, focus on getting set for plays over getting distance towards plays. What is an extra 3 or 4 steps on that play going to do? Probably nothing. So establish a good angle, try to establish an angle so that he's not diving directly at you, get set, and then come up with a call. Good job giving a signal on that one, just need to be set before you do it.
All right, Dan, we're going to take a look at your stance from back here. Good job opening up there and letting the catcher get by you. A couple things that we'll look for here is how far in the slot you are. Looks like you're doing a much better job. I think you can even take a half a step a little bit further toward the batter. As I mentioned before to you, think about getting your trail foot. So with a right-handed hitter, it's your right foot, right in the middle of the catcher's back. So you can see it's slightly on the other side. You're a big guy, so obviously you can't get too far. Make sure you can see, but that's a pretty good general hint. Try to get that trail foot right in the middle of the catcher's back. So maybe a half a step to your left. Good job on the bases there, Chris. You know that play is going to go to first base. Probably not going to be a play at third. Maybe 1 or 2 more steps to the first base side, and then you want to bounce back a little bit more aggressively toward third base. On the plate there, Dan, we talked before from the side about how you like going over to that spot on the third baseline, and again, there's no real point to be over there. You have no responsibilities at third. Your sole responsibility is the touch of third, which you can see from the point of the plate just as well as you can from over there, and then a potential play at the plate. So if anything, you want to be moving the other way to third baseline extended. All right, so let's keep talking about your plate stance. Looks like you get set nice and in time. Good reaction to the ball there. It looks like you're tracking from back here. You saw that right off the bat. That's good stuff. We talked about a little bit earlier to slow down your timing, so this would be a good angle to see it because you'll see yourself get set on time. You'll see your slot position, but then you get a little bit quick. So you're set in time. It's perfect. Ball gets hit. You have responsibilities at third base here, so you need to get up there right now. We need to be a little bit more aware of our responsibilities before the ball gets hit. So in that situation, even though it's a hit and run, there's a potential for a play at third base. So your first step needs to be a little bit better up toward third. If there was a play into third base there, you're probably going to be making it from halfway down the line. And, obviously perception is everything. So we want to be in a position to step into the cutout over at third base if that play develops. Overall, your stance looks very good. both from the side and from behind. The couple of comments that I made before, one was slot position. It looks like you fixed that. Looks like you're getting set on time. The one thing that I noticed earlier on, I'm not seeing it as much right now, but just be aware of that when you're not being observed, is when you lock in, think about locking in A to B. So what that means is, instead of sort of slowly getting down into your stance, stand up, focus on the pitcher, and then when you're ready to lock in, drop straight down. You sort of do like a little shimmy down sometimes, and later in the season, as you start getting tired, or you know you're not being observed and you're not thinking about this stuff, it can cause you to start getting set a little bit late, or have a little bit of movement as the ball's coming in. Again, I'm not seeing that now, but it's just an observation that you can keep in the back of your mind for your future games.
No, the
Catch up there. Top to the short side.
Were your signals and voice
The one to the short, it wasn't as the one over there was not fast.
I guess my point is they weren't that good. They go through that team. And honestly,
Should I be verbalized or just with the
just, yeah, what you do is perfect. It's just this. Yeah. You wanna
Good! Hit it! That's one.
Hold Masters!
What do we talked about grass dirt line with you, right? So yeah, that's the other thing I want to talk about.
Trap play.
Right.
Go out farther.
Right. So we start here, right?
Right.
Balls hit the outfield. We're gonna step up and turn and read, just like we're reading on the line.
Right.
Okay. So we're looking out to the outfield. What's gonna happen? All right. Is it gonna be converging fielders? Is the guy gonna maybe make a catch below his waist? Is he going back toward the wall where we have to get a look at it? So you're here, turn face the ball. I read that it might be trouble. Okay. We obviously can't go out in a two-man, but for perception and to get a better look, we're going to try to get distance and try to create an angle.
Okay.
So assuming he's not going directly away from you, he's going to dive or come in. What you're going to do is step up, turn, read that it's trouble, and then immediately bust to the line or to the grass dirt line. Okay. This way, we're as far as we can go. Okay, we have a good look. There's tag up at second. We can always just watch the catch and glance. Okay, see it out of your peripheral vision. But again, the priority is always the ball.
Okay.
So the ball is your number one priority in that situation.
Okay.
Ball gets caught, okay, or drops. Now, you're just gonna turn, okay, you drop back and bounce back into the working area. So you have multiple runners here. Now you can cover anything. Right? Remember, if you have multiple runners, you have to split your difference. Don't get too stuffed into one play. So if you have a trail runner and there's a play at third, you want to make sure that you're not all the way in the cutout at third. Maybe you take the play from here instead. Okay, instead of being all the way there. Okay. So this is your area to work here. Okay, try to stay out of throwing lanes. Try to, shade to your most likely play, but you also have to be aware in the two-umpire system about the other things that are going on in the field. Make sense?
Yes.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. You have an answer? There's two things I want to talk about. Why don't you guys come and stand here? I'm not going to... All right, so just a couple things like with plate work. Check swings, both getting them from the plate and asking your partner. We want to make sure that from out there, the base guy is sure of what's going on, okay? So what I would like to see you do is, if you're gonna call a check swing on your own, say we have a right-handed batter, okay? You're in your stance, right-handed batter takes a check swing and you're gonna get it on your own. I want you to point with your left hand right at the batter, okay? So yes, he went, versus if you're gonna check with your partner who might be in the middle of the field, you're gonna step out this way, did he go? All right, so those are two very different looking things. We're pointing with different hands, but as the base umpire, you want to be sure of what your partner's doing. This, yeah, looks very different than this. Okay, so that makes sense?
Yeah. I think we only have one situation in the whole game with the check swing.
Right, there was one, and that's what I'm talking about. Okay, left-handed batter, if he swings, yes, he went. Okay, it's okay to do it with your right hand and point at the batter. Okay, versus, did he go? Okay, so those look very different. All right, we talked out there about rotations and like knowing before the ball gets hit what you're doing. In a runner on first base only situation, what signal are you giving back here? What do you guys use for rotation? So you use this, right? So you give the rotation signal. In your head as the plate guy, you're thinking if the ball gets through the infield, I'm rotating to third. Okay? There should be no hesitation once the ball gets through. There should be no thinking about what's going on, because you know ahead of time the whole purpose of doing this is I am going to go to third if the ball gets through. Okay? So you're in your stance, ball gets hit, you take off your mask, you see the ball gets through, and your first step is this. I'm running up to third. All the way to here. All the way to here. And in that way, if there's a play into third, you go right into the cutout. Okay? You guys stand there, I'm coming back. Go into the cutout. If the guy comes to third without a play, you run home. Okay? The second you realize that there's definitely not going to be a play there, you run home. Too many guys are stopping halfway or maybe taking just a couple steps and hesitating. You want to be on top of that play at third. Okay? So almost all the way up. And then once you realize there's not a play, come back. Okay? But again, that first step's important because some of these kids, as you get older and working older kids' games, it's going to be tougher to keep up, and you want to make sure that you get up there for the play. You had a play in this game, the ground ball that got thrown away, and then there was a play over there and back. So I just want to show, again, it sort of goes with what we were talking about out there. I want to show like the footwork and making sure you keep chest to ball. Okay, so we had a rotation situation. Pretend like the ball went to the outfield, just so that we're definitely right there. Okay. The ball was hit. You communicated, I've got third. Okay. There was the throw over there, and the guy went to third, and the throw came back across, and you were sort of still running up. So what that should look like is I've got third, move up. Once there's going to be a play, you get into the cutout. Okay, and then the ball gets thrown away, right? So now you're inside, which is good. The reason why we go inside is for that very reason, because if the ball gets thrown away and you're outside, you're now in the way. Okay? So you did a nice job of getting inside, but then there's nobody at the plate. So you need to stay ahead of that runner if you can and try to get back to the plate. That was the one criticism I had. I thought you did a nice job getting up there. I thought you did a nice job getting in the cutout. Just need to stay ahead of the runner. Okay? On the bases in that situation, you know that he has the runner at third base at that point. Okay? Your only other responsibility is the batter runner. Okay, so you shade him. We have one umpire there with that runner, one umpire there. So what that should have looked like, okay, stance, ball gets hit, you run up to third. I've got third. Okay, so the play. Ball gets thrown away, it bounces ahead. And once he starts going home, he stays there to stay dirty. Okay, but he came home and the ball went over there. So you run it this way, and you come back, and you're gonna have to take that play at the plate if we were talking from right here. It's brutal. But that's the two umpire system. Okay, you have to be inside. But that's what we want to see. We want to see you get up there, get inside, and then if that happens, one time it happens, which it did today, you take the play from right here. Your buddy's got the other one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The last thing I wanted to talk about is when there's situations where you're staying home. We need to have a plan of what's going on here, okay? What are your responsibilities here? There are two things that you should mention. What's one?
Being in proper position to call the play.
For a play at the plate, that's good. I would say that's the priority. Okay, what's the other minute responsibility that you have? What do we need to watch over there?
A rundown?
Okay, maybe before that. Runner's touching third,
Touching third.
right? We're responsible as the plate
Yeah.
umpire for the touch of third, right? We knew that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, again, as we said, the most important thing is the play at the plate. You have a habit, okay? Every time the ball's hit and you're staying home, do you know where you go? Why?
To force it.
Okay. So that's one that we have to break because you're actually taking yourself out of position over it, okay? So when the ball's hit, you have runners in scoring position, you've told your partner, I'm staying home. Okay? Take your mask off, chill at the point of the plate. You can watch the touch from third from here. There's no reason why you need to go over there. You can see the touch just as well here as you can over there.